What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Hope all you're having a great day so far. Hope you all had a great weekend. Um, Getting into this episode of GH, I enjoyed this episode. I really did. I liked it. Good action. Surprising what happened though. It was a shock to me because I wasn't expecting all that. Now, um, I did like the scenes though with Portia and Curtis at the Savoy. That was a real eye-opening conversation that they had. Very interesting because Curtis has been on the show now for what, 5 years, 6 years, somewhere around here. Like he's been on the show for a good minute. I think 5 years he's been on the show. So he's been up here a good second. Um, and we finally got more background. We got more information about his childhood, his upbringing, what happened to his parents. Like we got more, we went more in depth with his character. Like they really fleshed the character out, like his background. I like it. You know what I mean? Because over the years, we only got like little tidbits and stuff, little bits and pieces and stuff like that. Um, so basically, like he had a good childhood though. He did. He had a happy childhood. Somewhere down the line, his father ended up having a heart attack. They said it was a massive heart attack. He passed on, and his mother never really like recovered from their father's death and stuff. So Stella basically put her life on hold, her dreams and stuff. She put on hold to basically help raise Curtis and his brother Thomas and stuff. So she basically took them on full time, because the mother just couldn't handle raising them anymore and stuff, especially after their father died. Um, Even though Stella was a big disciplinarian, like she had a lot of rules in her household and stuff like that, but she really, raised them right. Like she did. She exposed them to a lot of culture, a lot of different things, like a lot of positive things. She took them to museums, art museums, all type of different types of museums and stuff. She even took them to ball games and shows and stuff. Like she really did it up with them kids. Like she really did. She really raised them like they were her own, and she really taught them a lot. You know what I mean? She was there for them. So that's why he's very big on Stella. Like he views Stella as pretty much another mom to him. You know what I mean? Which is good. That's very good. And I'm glad that he talked more about his past and stuff like that. And that Stella was there for him. And when he got into the police department and stuff like that, she started to notice that he was using drugs, and she actually helped him with his sobriety. Because when he became a cop, she made him call her every day. She helped him with his sobriety, got him clean, helped get him clean. Um, so I'm glad that he talked about that and stuff, and Stella even sent Portia a letter because apparently Stella is in Baltimore recovering from her stroke at a friend's house. So she sent Portia this letter basically apologizing to her, and Portia wants to get to know Stella better and stuff because she's such a huge part of Curtis's life. And Curtis was like, yeah, it's very important for me, for y'all to get along and to know each other and stuff, because she does play that huge role in his life. Curtis would not be the man he is today. He probably would not be here if it wasn't for Stella taking him in and, giving him a home and love and stuff like that. He wouldn't be the man that we see today. So I love that background. And while they were talking, across the way, there was this guy, and y'all know the guy. I don't know if y'all know him though, but the actor. He played on The Closer. I remember him. He played on that TNT show called The Closer with Kira Sedgwick. I remember that. And he played on Major Crimes, the spinoff of that show. One of my favorites. I think he played a chief, I think he was chief. Um, he kept staring at Portia and Curtis and stuff, and I'm thinking to myself, is that his daddy? I was thinking that too. I said, who father is he? He got to be one of their fathers. Is he Portia daddy? Like, is he Curtis's father? But he looked like he could be Curtis' father though. I said, is Curtis' daddy really dead? I was wondering that the whole time I was just looking. I said, I wonder if his father really died. Because when he was telling the story about his father and stuff, I'm like, maybe this is his dad. Because he did say his father had a massive heart attack, but I'm like, did you see the body? Like, is that the truth? Because for all we know, his mother probably lied to him. You know how some parents do, especially when they get all bitter and whatnot because they man left them. She could have, lied to Curtis and Thomas and said that he died of a massive heart attack, but in reality, he could have just been a deadbeat father and left. You know what I'm saying? You know how some fathers do, like, they can't handle certain things. And I find it too coincidental that after all these years, Curtis is finally starting to open up about his childhood. Now you got this man over here looking at them. I'm like, well, maybe that's the dad. I'm starting to believe it. And I think that's dope, though. If that's really his father, it's going to bring a lot of drama. Because Curtis going to be pissed. Like, all these years, him thinking that his father was dead all this time, and that man standing right over there staring at him. I was like, uh-oh, drama, and I'm here for it. So I can't wait to see this further develop. I'm big interested in this story right now. Like, I really am. I'm glad that they added this. Um. So anyway, moving on from that. Um. Listen, I don't know about y'all, but one day I strive to get the body that Cameron Matheson has. I strive to have it. Listen, when I tell y'all I strive to be that ripped. And for him to be, I think Cameron Matheson is still in his 40s, I think. I don't think he's 50 yet. I could be wrong, but I don't think he's 50 yet. But to look like Jack like that, I was like, listen, I got to be on whatever diet he on. That's what I'm about to do. Um, I like the little bond that him and Obrecht created since they've been locked in together for a little while. Um, she gave him some good advice about the whole conditioning thing. Basically, he needs to think about Scout. That's the only way for him to not fall victim to being, brainwashed. Because remember, that worked for him years ago. Remember when Helena brainwashed him, she conditioned him to kill Sam and Patrick. And remember, this is when he thought he was Jason. He couldn't do it because he remembered his love for Sam and stuff like that, so it prevented him from killing her. That's what Obrecht was trying to tell him. Think about your love for your daughter. Your love for your daughter will not, will help him not be conditioned and make those same mistakes that he almost made before. So that was really good advice. So anyway, moving on from that. Them guards ain't worth a grain of salt over there. I was so tight. I said, "Are you serious? You mean to tell me Peter August got more power than a Cassadine?" I said, "You got to be smoking." Like when them guards turned on Victor, I said, "Oh, hell no, Victor. How much are you paying these people for Peter to outbid you with the guards?" I said, "That's insane. Cassadines would have way more money than a Peter August." But even though people tend to don't pay their guards that much, I mean, guards really ain't making that much. I mean, they make a good little salary, but not that much. Um, so whatever peanuts Victor was paying them, Peter upped the game. I said that this must be I know Helena is rolling in her grave right now because her guards would never. Helena had them guards shook. Them guards would never turn their back on her. Hell to the no. Her guards, see, that's why he need Helena, because Helena guards knew better. They would never in their life think to turn on Helena. Well, except that one time. It was that one time her guards turned on her, and that was because of Nicholas. That's the only exception, though. Her guards turned on her for another Cassadine. You're talking about Peter August. That's a whole different story. But yeah, that woman is rolling right about now. Cause I'm like, Victor, what are you doing? Even his most loyal guard, Russell, turned on him for the big money. I said, damn, Russell. Even Russell turned on you. Good Lord, Victor. What have you been doing, sir? Like, what kind of Mickey Mouse operation you running up in here? Because Valentine was wondering why Russell still had his gun on him and stuff if he's working with Victor. And Russell was like, shit, you'll find out. He said, you playing for the wrong team. You need to get on the winning team, the money team. Because Russell was like, that's the team I'm on right now. Benjamin's talk. It's all about the Benjamins. So Valentine and Victor then got locked in a room together. I said, damn, Victor. So anyway, moving on from that. Sam and Dante basically was sequestered. Anna was not letting them go nowhere because Anna was like, you got a personal connection to this. And, she didn't want Sam to go because of Drew. She was too personally involved. But in my opinion, that's a conflict of interest in itself, too. That's hypocritical, mind you, because Anna has personal involvement in this, too, because of Valentine. She even told one of the agents. She even told one of the agents that she wants a special team, a separate team looking for Valentine. I'm like, that right there, you're personally involved because your agent should be looking for everybody that's been captured, not just your man. I'm just saying. Um, and she also didn't want Dante going because him going there could trigger his PTSD. And Dante kept telling her, he was like, I'm good, I'm fine. She was like, no, it might trigger it. So she got one of the agents to sit on them basically. So now they got to find a way to get the hell out of there. Sam and Dante, before they were interrupted by Anna, they actually had a good idea. Their idea was to take like a back road, like one of the little side spots, little back roads up to the compound. So that way they're not going directly towards the gate to alert anybody. They basically was on some covert shit. Like they want to sneak in there undetected, which is smart. Anna and the WSB was trying to go through the front gate. I'm like, no, because as soon as they did that, the damn alarms went off. I said, see, that's what Sam and Dante were trying to avoid. They wanted the element of surprise. You know what I'm saying? I was like, Anna, what are y'all doing? Like, y'all whole plan was to go in through the front gate. I said, that's somewhat of a sure way to get killed. Because even Anna and Robert was like, we don't know how many guards they got up in there and stuff like that. That's why Sam and Dante wanted to go in covertly. So that way they could sneak up on the guards, knock them out, whatever. Instead of going through the front gate, that's a surefire way to die. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are y'all doing? Um, so Sam and Dante had to think quickly. So basically, the guard that was there was not letting them out of his sight. Sam came up with an excuse, talking about, "Oh, I need to go to the bathroom." He said, "Yeah, I'll call in some backup to, escort you to the bathroom." She said, "I can go by myself." I'm like, Sam, that old ass trick ain't gonna work on him. You need to think of something else. So she went with the sympathy card. She played that. The fact that Drew was stuck there, and he's the father of her child, and her child hasn't seen him in half her life. That was a good card to play because it looked like it won the guard over. So that was a smart move. Um. So anyway, moving on from that, Peter is just ugh. As soon as he heard the alarms, because it looked like he was about to kill Valentine and Victor, and he was surprised to to come to the realization that Valentine and Victor are father and son. He was like, so when you said your son, you wasn't playing. I'm like, no, numbnuts. They don't just call somebody their son or their child for nothing. Um, so he ended up going to Drew's cell or whatever, trying to condition him, talking about, oh, I got another job for you, and Drew got the jump on him. Um, Anna and Robert was running around with their little guns and looking like, I spy and shit. So they went into Drew's cell, and she figured that it was Drew's cell because she saw Scout's name on the wall, carved in on the wall. So Sam and Dante ended up getting to the compound. They found Victor. And Sam didn't give a damn what Victor was talking about. All she wanted to know was where the hell was Drew. That's the only thing that was on her mind. Um, so Peter ended up getting away or whatever, but Russell, he done got shot by Drew because Drew stormed up in the room or whatever and shot Russell in the damn leg. I said, see, Russell, that's what you get for aligning yourself with Peter punk ass. You got a bullet to the leg now. You better be lucky you ain't dead. So he basically rescued Valentine and stuff like that. And Robert and Anna was running around the bridge or whatever looking for Peter because that bridge, if you fall off that bridge, it's one hell of a drop into the ocean. So they took a spot behind the bridge or whatever so that way they could see if Peter was coming, and they heard somebody coming. So it was freaking Valentine and Drew. So when Anna saw them, it was so funny because when Anna saw them, she was like, oh, it's Drew and Valentine. The reaction Robert gave was fucking hilarious. Robert was like, damn. I'm sure Robert is happy to see Drew alive and stuff, but he was like, yeah, I didn't want y'all. I wanted Peter. So Valentine was all happy to see Hannah and stuff, and he couldn't even get out a real hello before he was shot. That damn Peter shot him right in the stomach. I said, damn. Got a clean shot too. You could see the hole. And then, Drew was shooting all wild into the dark and shit. I was like, Drew, who is you shooting at? Like, he was shooting crazy. I was looking at Drew like, bro, so you don't see Peter just sitting right there in front of you? He all shooting all wild and shit. I'm like, Drew, you are a soldier. You know how to shoot. And of course, Peter ended up shooting Drew ass. Shot him up too. He hit him with a couple of bullets. I seen that shit going all through. And Drew ass done fell into the ocean. I said, damn. I said, Robert, somebody shoot Peter and jump they ass into the water and go get this man. Um, because Anna sitting there talking about before, she was like, "Oh, I'm not shooting to kill Peter." Robert said, "Well, you may not, but I am." He was like, "I don't give a damn what you talking about. I'm about to shoot his ass and I will kill him." I'm not mad at Robert. Robert was like, "Nope, first opening I get, I'm killing his ass." I ain't mad at you, Robert. Go for what you know. Um. So anyway, this was a good episode. I like the little adventure. Jason and them, they were back in Port Charles trying to figure all this out. It was super funny. That scene was hilarious. When he called Spinelli in to look into Scott's computer, that shit was funny. Scott was like, "You're not looking at my computer. I got confidential information." Spinelli was like, "I'm not gonna look at your confidential paperwork or nothing, whatever you got up there." Then he was like, "I am gonna have to look at your browser history." Scott said, I said, "Scott, what your ass up there hiding? You watching that porn again? What you hiding? Why you don't want him to see your browser history, Scott? What you looking at?" Um, Before I continue on with that, first of all, Britt, that's my boo, but don't be trying to play Scott like that. Because when Scott popped up at the hospital, she tried to insinuate he was an ambulance chaser. Talking about what ambulance was you chasing? Y'all gonna stop disrespecting this man and his legal expertise. Stop acting like this man ain't no good ass attorney. Like, stop trying to play him. So anyway, they look at his browser history and stuff, and he was looking into Huntington's disease and stuff like that. And he was getting all type of pop-ups and all that stuff. Somebody put spyware on that computer, and they've had it up there for months. So they put pop-ups and stuff on his computer, and one of those pop-ups, one of the ads, was for that cheap ass private plane that he rented. And Britt was like, "I know damn well you did not answer to a pop up." He said, "Yeah, a deal's a deal." I said, "Scott, no. Even I don't do shit like that on my computer. I don't click on them pop ups. Is you crazy?" So that's how that whole thing got set up. So, of course, Spinelli couldn't find out who was behind it, but he traced the IP address back to Greece, Crete, Greece. Um, so now that they hear that it's Greece, they know a Cassadine is involved. They just don't know who. Because they believe Helena's dead, Faison's dead, Victor they think is dead, but I'm like, yeah, these people don't stay dead for long. So now they need to hop on a damn plane, and Jason and them need to get their ass to Greece. You know what I noticed and I loved was the different detective work that was used. Like, I don't know if y'all noticed that, but Spinelli and Jason and all them used technology to figure out where Liesel could be. Whereas Robert, Sam, Dante, and Anna used old school, detective skills to figure it out. Like, they used the whole question and answer method. Like, it's crazy to me because Jason and Spinelli, they use technology to figure out where, Liesel could be and stuff. Like, they just tapped a couple keystrokes and boom, Greece. Whereas, Dante, Sam, Robert, and Anna, they asked questions which led to answers, which led to this different place and that different place. So they use like an old school method. I respect that. I don't know if many people noticed it or not, but I respect the different ways that they figured it out. You know what I mean? I love that. It was hot. But yeah, that was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section, let me know what y'all thought, and I will see y'all all later. Have a great day. Peace.